Let's talk about money management. I call this getting paid and not played. Some of you right now, under the sound of my voice, you have been either played or paid in the last 24 hours. Some have been both. The difference is when you get paid, you're getting a return on some type of service or some type of product that you have rendered or provided to somebody. But when you get played, that means you didn't get what you think you should have gotten. You may have been cheated, bamboozled, tricked, run amok. So you want to avoid being played, and you definitely want to get paid. Now, I put together what I call my 10 money commandments. It's like a takeoff of the commandments. And these are not, like I say, coming to you from what we call a financial advisor. You want to talk to your accountant and your financial advisor for that. I'm just giving you some real life lessons from this old head here. Somebody who's been out there for a minute. Okay? And I'm not sitting over here lighting up cigars with $100 bills, but I have learned some valuable lessons over the years when it comes to money and dealing with money and people. Number one is, particularly if you're in business, you have to make it easy for people to give you money. I am still a little surprised and puzzled by people who have made it difficult for people to pay them. They're like, no, I don't deal with that technology stuff. You got to write me a check. You got to come get it. My website is still under construction for the last 10 years, and you got to get on the phone and call me and give me the credit card number. That's making it hard for folks to give you money. You got to make it easy for people to give you money. And you have to understand that everybody's not the same. You have to have different types of payment arrangements and plans depending on your audience. Like in my company, you can pay online, you can pay with a check, you can pay with Venmo, Cash App, credit cards. Yeah, we don't take a food stamp. No, we don't take food stamp. That's not legal. That's illegal. Don't do that. We talked about integrity now. We also have retainer, where people can pay on a retainer basis. You can pay flat fee, a la carte. So we've come up with every possible way to get this money from your hand to ours in an equitable and fair exchange. Make it easy for people to give you money. That's my first bit of advice. Number two, this goes along with the played part. Make it difficult for people to take your money or to keep the money that's owed you from getting to you. You have to make that difficult for people to take your money. Get your money up front. Don't waver on this one. You don't have to get it all up front, but you better cover your expenses up front. Cover your costs. Here's one for you. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Now, I get tired of these folks. They're like my favorite whipping boy. They out here chasing the pennies. I mean, they invoice somebody for $5,000, and the person sends them a check for $4,999, and they spend half a day trying to get that extra dollar. Hello, ma'am. I just got your check here. I've called you this is the fifth time I'm calling you, and I've sent you 5 letters and turned you over to a collection agency, but your invoice was $1 short. I need my money. Now you spent like $50 already trying to get that $1. That's an exaggeration, but not by much. Some people think that if you collect all the pennies and put them together, somehow it's going to make up for shortcomings in other areas. It doesn't add up. You're not giving your time any value. So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Don't sweat the small stuff. Even in accounting, we have a rule called the law of materiality. And one of the laws of materiality is we're not going to spend all day trying to find out why the penny doesn't balance. We pop that sucker under miscellaneous and keep it moving. So write off the pennies, ladies and gentlemen, while you pursue the big money, okay? Here's one. You better get your notes out on this one. Don't try to outsmart the IRS. Now, I know some of y'all are pretty smart. I know I got some smart listeners out here. But if you're trying to outsmart the IRS, you're not as smart as you think you are. They got some stuff for you. And just because they haven't told you everything they have, boy, just take my word on this one. Uncle Sam knows. That little catch up and Venmo stuff you've been doing on the side, they just, matter of fact, it reminds me of Santa Claus. When I was a kid, there's this song about better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. He knows when you are asleep. Well, I got one for you. This is the IRS. He knows if you are faking. He knows how much you make. He's saying himself, I wish you would, so be good for goodness sake. IRS knows. Do not try to mess with IRS. Get yourself an accountant, keep your books, and it just pays to know. Yeah. If you need an accountant, somebody keep your books for you. And don't think these little apps and things that you're doing on the side that Uncle Sam doesn't know about it. You can't file your taxes saying you made $5,000 for the year, but your bank account is saying you made $500,000. Uncle Sam sees it. He's just sitting there looking at you. He's waiting for the best time to come get you. Okay? Here's one for you. There's an old saying that's a fool and his money are soon parted. And I'm not calling anybody a fool. That's just an expression. But you got to watch out for these scams. And there's a scammer out here every 5 minutes. As I said earlier, emotions and money don't mix. Don't get emotional. And you ever get one of these letters in the mail that you got to send somebody some money before they give you the big money? That's a scam. Nobody should have to pay to get money. I get these letters, oh, we got this equipment we want to sell you. We want 500 laptops. But you got to give us $500 to make this purchase order, something. There's always something when you got to give them the money to get the big money. That's a scam. And you ever get these things? Look, I got a letter. I got a check right here in the mail yesterday. It's from one of my credit card providers. They sent me a check. Now, why are they sending me a check? I use them for credit cards. And they say, look, need a little extra cash. And so it's a check from my credit card company. You know what I want you to do with this check and checks like this? There you go. So I'm going to tell you why. They're sending you this money because you don't need it. I guarantee you, I will bet my life that if you were sitting there needing that $200, they would not send it to you. Another reason I know, because you have that amount available through your credit card. But you weren't using it, obviously, fast enough. So they sent you a check to make it even quicker. Folks, I'm telling you, don't be played, be paid, okay? Now, you do have to spend some money to make money. I know that's an old saying, that's an old expression. It's true. Saving will only take you so far. You do have to take some risk, but take educated risk. Invest. Your money is not going to grow fast enough just sitting in a regular checking account or savings account. And if you're down to your last $500, you can't save yourself out of debt or the problems you're having, because that 500 is going to be gone next. So you take that $500 and invest it and hope at least you have a fighting chance. If you're just sitting on it, it's just going to be gone in a few days. Invest in people, equipment, technology, marketing, systems. You cannot save yourself to riches. Now, when you get the riches, you can save it and sit on it, but you're not going to save your way to get there. I'm just going to tell you that right now. We're talking about money. We're talking about getting paid and not getting played. Now, you have to keep up with technology. That's been the undoing of so many people. You didn't keep up with technology. Technology is going to help you with security. It's going to help you with opportunity. You're going to be abreast of some of these scams that are out here. You're going to know what the IRS is up to. I'm telling you, a good way to get paid and not played, you must stay up with technology. take some courses, go to the college, go to community college. They have financial advisors, accounting courses, technological courses, but you have to stay up with technology to avoid some of this scamming and to keep up with some of the opportunities that are out here so that you get paid and not played. Now, just kind of reiterate what I mentioned earlier. This is one of those rules of money. The less money you need, the more money you'll be able to get. And the more money you have, the more money you can get. So build up your cash reserves. Don't be spending money fast as you get it. Get yourself some cash reserves and you can get all the money you want. You don't have to spend your money. You can leverage the money you have or leverage the stocks you have, leverage your assets. But don't try to get yourself out of the hole. Make that a goal first, okay? And once you get some money, a little nest egg, a little pile of money, opportunities for being played shrink. And the opportunities for getting paid multiply. Okay? Wrapping things up here. Here's one I want you to be advised of. Size does matter. You've heard that before, right? Size matters, particularly transaction sizes. You can't treat every transaction the same. Now, if somebody's owe you, $25, you might treat that situation a little differently than somebody owed you $25,000. For $25 or $250, if that client is down DC, and they said, look, hey, Gatewood, we just cut your check now for $250. I go ahead and put it in the mail. I get it in a couple of days. If that check is for $25,000, I'm going to find an excuse to be downtown. You know what? I was just heading over that way. I got a client over there in your next building. I'll just swing by there on the way out. So you got to make rules based on the size of that transaction. Don't make these hard, fast rules that apply across the board because sometimes it doesn't apply. That's right. I would go pick up that check if it's a certain size. Now, I'm not driving to California or catching a plane for any size check. Well, never say never. That's $5 million. Hey, Spirit Airlines, let me put on my boxing gloves and my armor, and we're going to battle. All right, let's see. And in closing, remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Money is not everything. I know we talked about money. We talked about how to get it, how to keep it, how to protect it, preserve it, save it, multiply it. Money is not everything. Don't make all of your life decisions on getting more money. Because sometimes you have to forego the money in order to attain peace. Peace of mind and time. Let me repeat that. Money is not everything. Sometimes you have to forego that money. And it's situational. Like I said, we go back to transaction size. I mean, that check is big enough, man. Forget peace of mind. That much time in the world. I'm coming to get it. But you have to look at every situation. And sometimes there's so much going on in your life. And some things are so precious. Sometimes there are memories that you would never be able to relive. There's no check big enough. And I mean that sincerely. It's situational. Money's not everything.